Hey, everybody, in this holiday season, thank you so much for joining us on the live stream. We are talking about, yes, Never Hope Alone and the Mary Free Bed Kids program. Joining us in this conversation, we have Andrea Dennis, who is live in the outpatient peds area of the hospital. Andrea is our Outpatient Pediatric Program Manager. Thank you so much for joining the live feed today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So, tell me a little bit about your role in the team here at Mary Free Bed.
Sure. So I am the program manager for our outpatient rehab department here on our main campus in Grand Rapids. So I supervise our physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists that are serving our MFB kids programs. And I'm also a physical therapist. So my times when I'm not doing administrative tasks, then I'm actually restoring hope and freedom with my team.
Awesome. And what are the type of patients that you specifically see when you're working with kids?
Sure. So my caseload is predominantly children with neuromotor disorders, including cerebral palsy, spina bifida, general developmental delay. But then I also spend the majority of my time working with kids who have adolescent idiopathic scoliosis. So there's a method that is kind of scoliosis specific exercise that I've been trained in. And so I would say probably about 90% of my time is spent with kids kind of 9 to 16 years old.
And you actually had to go travel for that, right? That was like kind of a long-term training that you and
Yes.
there's a couple people on our team that had to do that, right?
Yes, that's true. So we have currently there are two clinicians here on our main campus that treat with this particular method. So my training was done in Wisconsin, not too far, but it was a two-part certification that really just focuses on specific exercises for kids, no matter what their curve pattern is. So.
And so for people hear about Mary Free Bed Rehabilitation, they don't know about all the different departments and programs that we have here. You're an outpatient. Tell me a little bit about this continuum and how some kids that you work with are part of this whole program within the hospital.
Sure. So, Mary Free Bed kind of offers comprehensive services for kids. So, we have everything from medical services, physiatry, nurse practitioners, nursing. We have an inpatient rehab unit where kids who are, it could be following a trauma, a prolonged hospitalization, a planned surgery, oncology treatment, where they'll actually be staying here receiving services around the clock. And then after that, they can transition into our outpatient programs, which is kind of the area of the hospital that I oversee. And that can continue their rehab journey from inpatient. Or we also have a number of programs that kids can enter just simply on an outpatient basis. So we have specialty programs including a feeding program. We have cereal casting. We have just traditional PT, OT, or speech programming. So no matter what a child's needs are and the intensity of services required, we can offer that throughout our programs.
And you're a physical therapist, but especially in outpatient, we have lots of different other disciplines that are working with kids. How do you and the team work together? And what are some of those different disciplines that are there?
Yeah, absolutely. So in our outpatient programs, we have PTs, we have occupational therapists, speech therapists. We also have registered dietitians that help make sure that we're providing comprehensive care in our feeding program. We work collaboratively with some of our other programs in the hospital, our orthotists, our prosthetists, and our rec therapists. So we evaluate every child and find out what their individual needs are, and then we make sure that we provide the services. So I would say it's not a cookie cutter approach. It's whatever a child needs, we ensure that they receive the services that they need. I'd say our team works really collaboratively, whether that be in a formal process where we have, a weekly team conference to bring all of the representatives of a team together, or just informally when we're in our charting space, collaborating to make sure that a child is receiving the best care.
And you guys, especially in outpatient, see some unique diagnoses that maybe we don't see other parts of the hospital. Tell me about those unique offerings that you and the team are bringing to kiddos here in West Michigan.
Sure. So, when people always ask, like, what do you see in outpatient? The easy response is, if you can think of it, then we treat it. So, we have we have a number of skilled clinicians that range experience upwards of 35 years. So, there are. I have not come across a condition that we haven't been able to treat yet. So, everything from what you would expect: cerebral palsy, spina bifida, brain injury, spinal cord injury, muscular dystrophies, all the way to conditions that don't even yet have a name. So, a number of genetic conditions that are
Mm,
rare. So, what we end up doing is we evaluate that child, we see what their needs are, and then we meet them where they're at. So, even if the condition hasn't yet been named, we are able to treat it.
man, that's crazy. I mean, just to think that we're on kind of the forefront of some of this stuff, and it's just there's always something new in the medical field that you're learning every day. I've learned that so much too here. Um, so many times I talk to patients, it's those success stories, that helping the patient, that impact that you're getting with them every day, that really fills people up. What are some of your recent success stories that you and the team have been doing?
Yeah, so I'd say that's a really fun part of my job, not only getting to kind of oversee our staff, but also getting to work alongside of them.
Hmm.
So I get to hear their success stories. I get to talk with my team and find out what's been really great lately. So I was just talking with one of our speech therapists who works in our feeding program, and was able to give me an update on a child who started here at just over a year old and was kind of at high risk for having to have a feeding tube placed. He was very aversive to all foods and all liquids other than breast milk. So he was nursing for his sole source of nutrition, but it wasn't adequate, losing weight. And
Mm.
so he came in, he worked with him and his mom, worked with our team, our speech therapist, and our dietitian. And they've been working for a few months now. And the most recent update is that he is eating solid foods. He's also supplementing with Pediasure, taking everything by mouth, and is no longer being considered for a feeding tube.
Wow, that's just
Yeah.
got to feel so good to have that impact and to see that progress every single day.
Yeah, and to be able to work with families, like, that's a stressful situation if your child isn't eating, and so
Mhm.
we have just a really talented team here who can not only provide, the skills necessary to help your child eat, but also just, be a support system for you and help you through this, because anytime a family comes in to see us, they're in some sort of a stressful situation or a
Mhm.
crisis, right? And so for us to be able to meet their physical needs, but also to help support them emotionally is a huge part of what we do.
And I keep forgetting to bring this up, but, like, tell me a little bit, about where you are right now. So this is in
Sure.
our outpatient, but this is kind of a more unique area that's there.
Yes. Yeah, so this is actually probably one of my favorite spots in our treatment space. This is a playground, our pediatric playground, and we've got really fun things in this space that allow us to incorporate play into our therapy. I mean, a kid's major function is play typically, and so this space allows us. We've got a rock climbing wall back here. We have a slide. We have a loft. We have also just a large amount of space. So we set up obstacle courses, or we will do scooter races, or hopscotch. Whatever. This space really, it's fun, it's inviting, it's bright, and also it just allows our therapists to be really creative and help us provide care to kids in a really fun space.
And I've seen it too, where you will do your primary therapy in there, but also it can be
Yeah,
kind of that reward at the end of therapy. I
absolutely.
feel I hear from therapists that work in pediatrics is that, you're really trying to hide the therapy as you're doing it. You're really trying to get them distracted with something else as you're working with them.
Yes, absolutely. So, depending on the child, we'll use it either as just our primary source of okay, today we're going to be working on things like you might encounter on the playground at school or at the park. Or we'll use it as we're having a particularly challenging situation session where you're saying, okay, if we can make it through these tasks that we've
Mhm.
decided we're going to work on, then we can go play in the playground for a few minutes at the end. So
Yeah.
again, even our therapy is individualized. It's based on what each child needs.
And we hear about these exciting things that your guys are doing, there's also a big exciting thing for the hospital as well too. We have our new kids hospital that's coming up. How
Yes.
excited are you and the team for this?
I'm not sure I can even express my excitement. So I have been here at Mary Free Bed for 14 years, and this is a project that has kind of been talked about almost the entire time I've been here. It started off, I think, just kind of as a bit of a pipe dream, and now to be here and see it all coming together is really, really exciting. The idea of having a space just completely dedicated to kids and their rehab is very exciting for us as a staff, but then also for our families some of our families have been coming here for years,
Mhm.
and the thought of being able to deliver care in this new space is exciting.
And it's exciting too as we continue to grow our team and with this new building coming up soon in the future. Um, what gets you excited and gets you passionate about the work that you do? Why do you like coming into work every day?
I mean, I think most importantly, it's the patients that we serve.
Mhm.
So, uh, I don't think that there's any place else where I would be able to work with the kids and families that I work with here. I think the other thing is the team that I work with.
Mhm.
So it's really exciting for me to be able to do something that I love, but then to be surrounded by a team of people who you can just see that they also love to
Mhm.
do their jobs. I think it's probably a pretty unique situation. I'm not sure that everyone really does enjoy their work and their coworkers as much as I do,
Mhm.
but, I think that being able to work with kids and their families
Mhm.
and watch their success continues to, fuel us for coming to work every day.
And if somebody is interested in they're working with kids, they're working in therapy or nursing or any kind of field in the healthcare, um, why should they come and want to work here at Mary Free Bed?
So I think again, if you have a passion for working with kids and their families, you like to have fun,
Mhm.
then those are two really excellent reasons to come and work here. So I think that I always like to say that we take our jobs seriously in our department, but we
Mhm.
don't take ourselves very seriously. So it's a fun environment where you'll also be able to continue to grow as a professional. So we have lots of opportunities based on the staff that's already here, learning from them. But then also our internal resources. There's just a lot of ways that you can continue to develop as a professional here, while you're also, providing care.
What if you're a parent and your kid is maybe just had injury or an illness or just a nagging kind of issue? How can they get connected and start having therapy or services here at Mary Free Bed?
Sure. So there's a number of ways. First and foremost, it's always important if you do have a concern to speak with your primary care provider. They would be able to send over a referral for you to be connected with one of our teams. But also, if you just have a question or you're not really sure if there's a service here that could help you, if you go to our website, there is a spot for you to send an email information, and that will get kind of vetted to the right person to answer your question. Um, but ultimately, uh, bet- between those two options, it'll get you connected.
Great. Well, Andrea, thank you so much here. Really appreciate you chatting with us today and sharing a little about your work here at the hospital and talking about our kids program. As we wrap up this interview, always feel free to go to maryfreebed.com to find out more information. There's a kids section that's there. It can get you connected as well. So thank you again, Andrea, for chatting with us in this holiday season. Make sure you
Yes. Thanks for
stay
having me.
safe, and thank you for watching.